Dream, life playing out like a film, a movie that I never seen. Yeah, from different places to different locations, we changing the scene. Too many stories to tell, it would not fit on the screen. What do you mean? There's hope in your story, there's hope in your passion. They don't get the picture, so we tell it like caption. Look at what happened up in your life when you take roll. God is present, you have now tuned in the official podcast, so tell it, ayy.
There it is. Every time I hear it.
Yes.
Woo, every time I hear it. So that's my cousin. That's Kevin J. If y'all want to check him out, he's K-Station on YouTube. He's a gamer rapper. He's an anime rapper. He's any rapper you want him to be. He can do it all. He's good all. But welcome to Tell It. We on episode number, I don't know. It's a lot. We're almost doing this for 2 years. So welcome to another episode of Tell It. And if you don't know who this is, on the screen, that is Miss Selena Wilson, CEO of the EOY DC. That has been a staple in the community of Oakland for how many years now? Are we at 39?
43 40? Going on 44.
43 going on 44 years, y'all.
That's right.
Oh my goodness gracious. But yes, this will be a real good story of succession. Handing off the baton, if you will. I can't wait to hear. I've been waiting since when did I invite you? What month was that I invited you?
A few. Yeah.
So if y'all don't know, I try to prepare my guests months in advance. Like when we set up Tell It, we line them up so we can already know what's going on. And every time I talk to a guest, I'm ready to go right then and there. But I have to be patient and wait. But she is also alumni of the beautiful Casamont Senior High School. Listen, class of 2003. I'm gonna let y'all know something. All right, which is the best year. You know, every time I heard somebody, anytime I heard 04, 05, that just sounds so futuristic to me. I'm just like, man, that sounds old. That sounds so young. But welcome. Yeah, this is Casamont Night. So listen, before we keep going, y'all share. Go ahead and heart it up. Let people know what's happening tonight. You do not want to miss this, especially my people that's in Oakland. Y'all better share this. All right. This should not go wasted. All right. Because I'm sure she got some words of wisdom, some great stories. And then as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put up her IG tag right now so you can go ahead and follow her. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, you need to go ahead and subscribe. You need to like and you need to hit that bell for the notifications. Also, you can follow me on IG at Herbert underscore Tell It, not dash. That was my old one. Underscore Tell It. Go ahead and follow me now. And we're going to get this show started, y'all, because I feel like there's a lot to be said. It's a great story here. And listen, I don't want to interrupt. But before we get into that, I always let my guests have a moment to share about whether a program or organization that they're in, that they support. And if you, Selena, want to go ahead and share what that is, go ahead and be my guest. We already know what it is, but I want her to share what it is.
Yeah, so of course, I have to rep for the East Oakland Youth Development Center, aka EOYDC. I humbly serve now as the Chief Executive Officer of this legacy institution, but I'm an alumni. So I started at EOYDC when I was 4 years old, which segues into what I think makes EOYDC so special. We serve a very wide range of young people, all the way from age 5 or 4, if you sneak in a little early like me, to age 24 in the areas of arts, education, careers, and wellness. And really what we seek to do is provide a continuum of care over that full school age experience into and through the early stages of adulthood. And we do all of this at no cost to the families that we serve. So we provide everything from after school programming that's holistic, that includes education, arts, wellness, full day summer programming, college tours,
All right.
scholarships, so many different supports. So definitely want to encourage folks to head to EOYDC's website, eoydc.org. All of our social medias are under the same name. You can click through to see what programming you might want to get involved in or encourage young people in your life to get involved in. And also, we always are accepting donations. So encourage those who feel called to give to come out the pocket if you are so
Mm-hmm.
moved.
Yeah, I better move. So thank you again for highlighting this. Again, I've been listen, seeing EOYDC. I remember when I was watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper. If those who remember that, Mark Curry definitely highlighted the EOYDC, and it's just again 44 years. All right, going on 44 years in the community, and you heard it. She's been going there since she was 4. All right, 4 years old, and to now being the CEO. So again, there's the website on the screen. You go ahead and donate. Go check it out. See what it's all about, especially if you're in Oakland. Make sure you check it out because again, it's doing great things in the community, and I'm sure there's countless and countless of stories of adults, young adults, kids that's been blessed by this program. All right. So listen, before we get into it even more, I want to challenge you guys to continue to share. All right, continue to share, heart it up, because the algorithm recognizes hearts. I don't know if you knew that, but if people heart a post, all right, the algorithm picks that up and it continues to show it over and over again. So that's why we want the hearts. All right. Now listen, what we like to do on Tele is we like to get into rapid fire questions. This allows the people to see the human side of someone on my show, to see what are their likes, their dislikes, what are some funny things about them. And so that's what rapid fire question does. They have to think quick on their feet. And my goal is to get you to stumble, all right, on the most simplest of questions. So if you can make it through without stumbling, if you already know what you like, then kudos to you. Look at that. Numbers going up. I like that. Keep sharing. All right, here we go. Rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Favorite TV show?
Oh, that's so
Uh,
hard because it changed. Severance right now.
okay, right now. Now, what was it before? You said it's so hard. It changes. What were you
It
battling between?
changes whatever I'm watching at the time. So right now I'm really into Severance. I was really into Euphoria while I was
Okay.
binging that. It's whatever I'm binging at the time.
Okay. All right,
Yes.
good, good. Favorite dessert?
Oh, ice cream.
Okay. All right, there you go. Easy. All right, if there could be any place that you would love to live in the world, where would you live?
Ooh, that's Oakland,
No,
actually.
outside of Oakland. Outside of outside
um,
of Oakland.
maybe Belize because it's
Oh.
close enough. There's a lot of Black people in Belize.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get home pretty easily. There's still a Black community there. I can still spend American dollars if I want. And it's beautiful from what I've heard. I'm going to be visiting next month. So,
Oh, that's nice. Now I have a brother, my brother-in-law. He's from Belize. I have yet to go there, so
ooh,
I definitely need to check it out.
yes.
Yeah, definitely on the binge watching. There you
Binge
go.
watching. That's that life. The Netflix and all them have destroyed my patience for waiting for episodes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, what's in your iPod? iPod. What's on your? Or do you have an iPhone? Yeah, you have an iPhone. What's on the rotation right now? What are you
My
listening to?
playlist.
Yeah, what's the
I'm
playlist?
pretty boring. I have my established playlists, my old school, so a lot of
Okay.
Stevie Wonder, Gap Band,
Oh.
all of that. On the newer side, I mean, I only get so new because
Mm-hmm.
I have come to terms with the fact that the new music they're not making it for me. So I
Uh-huh.
might come across a little bit of it, but like I do a little bit of Megan the Stallion, a little bit
Uh,
of
all right.
Roddy Rich on the newer side.
On the newer side, okay, that's where you go. But yeah, hey, look, having the oldies but goodies playlist is key. All right,
Oh
I'm getting my
yeah, for
kids
sure.
on them oldies but goodies playlist right now, and so they singing kung fu fighting and sitting on
I
the
saw that video in the car. It was so
yeah.
cute.
They get my son be getting so mad at me. I don't know why, but it's real good.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one for you. Favorite movie? So that's a little different than the show. What's the
All right. So
all-time
this
favorite?
always surprises people. my all-time favorite movie, in the sense that I can watch it over and over and over, is Fight Club.
Mm-hmm. Fight Club.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's
It's because it. Oh, thank you, Ivy Michelle. Much appreciation. Yeah, it's because it's an allegory, and there's just so many layers to it. But there's a lot of movies that I love, but that's the one that I watch. I never get bored of watching it.
okay. All right. All right.
Yes,
A nickname that your parents called you.
Lena.
Lena. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That was easy. That was easy.
That's
Okay,
an easy
dog.
one, right?
Yeah, that's easy to see. Okay. Do you have a favorite flower?
Oh, I love plants. I'm more of a
Mm-hmm.
green leafy plant girl, as you can see in the background
I
here.
see. I see.
But flowers, you know what? I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do love our state flower, the California poppy. Lynette,
Oh.
I recommend, but it is, just keep in mind it's allegories. So there are parts that might be hard to watch, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's the state flower again?
Golden poppy.
Golden poppy. All right. Weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Weirdest thing, probably a scorpion.
A scorpion. You ate a scorpion?
I did.
Where was this?
In the museum gift shop. In fact, this was, I think, on an EOYDC field trip, maybe, I think. But I remember we went to California Academy of Science, and they sold like lollipops with scorpions in them.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
one of the younger kids was like, "Ooh, yuck!" And I was like, "You know what? I'll try it. If you try it, we tried it. Spicy.
Mm. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll see what happens with that one. All right. If
Apologies
there's
to the vegans. I know that is tough to hear, perhaps. I get it. There are some belief systems that could be reincarnated elder, but I gave it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and no, I was not expecting that. I was
No.
expecting I don't know what I was expecting, but definitely wasn't a scorpion. All right. One thing on your bucket list.
Ooh, one thing on my bucket list. That's a good question.
Do you have a bucket list?
I don't, but I should probably work on that. I mean, it's not a bucket list, but I definitely want to visit the places that I know that I have ancestry.
Okay.
So I want to visit like
That's
West
nice.
Africa. I want to visit. I was able to figure out like the exact village in Ireland
Oh, really?
that my ancestors on that side are from, because I'm a quarter Irish. So I would love to like visit the places where I have ancestry.
Nice. Okay, nice. All right. Last but definitely not least. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask this question one more time and I'm gonna be done with this question.
Okay.
To action in all of my shows. It's kind of almost like you're getting inducted into the Tele's
Okay.
guest list. But and now I'm in the South right now, okay? And the South question answer is always one answer. And I'm gonna see what your answer is. All right, number one, yes. You know where I'm going. Okay.
Oh, you already know where I stand here.
I don't know.
Okay. Go ahead and
Sugar
answer those so people can hear.
or salt?
Okay. Sugar don't go on grits. I have very strong feelings about that. Yes, I am a savory grits girl. Salt, pepper, butter, cheese, shrimp, all that seasoning salt. You want to spice it up. Hot sauce season, even a little bit.
She said hot sauce.
Even that is more acceptable than sugar. I don't put hot sauce on there, but I'm saying you put the little shrimp. If you have a shrimp and grits, that can be acceptable.
Okay.
But sugar, I can't do the sugar. Sorry. Cream of wheat. Sugar goes on cream of wheat.
Not cream of wheat.
Not grits.
It's not the same thing. I'm trying to tell.
Why did you have to get to a place of violence, Herbert?
I don't understand. I just don't. I'm trying to figure out.
You chose violence.
I don't understand.
So you're team sugar grits?
Absolutely.
Oh no,
sugar,
Lynette, where are you at, Lynette?
And
please.
Eggs. Look at that. People are appalled at what you're saying right now.
No, Lynette, please. I think you're a salt girl, right? Oh, okay, Jakara. I can accept the both, and I guess. Where is Lynette? Please back me up. Please back me up, Lynette.
Look, she is
yeah,
so
exactly.
Smart.
Okay, thank you.
That's because you never tried it, and if you tried it, you'll probably like it.
And my cousin used to put syrup, maple syrup in the grits.
Ed, what's up, man? See, I was looking for Mr. Castlemont to come up on here. That's what I was trying to figure out. Where's Ed? That's who I wanted to get. Because this guy, hats off to you, man. This guy, look, he go hard for
Ed
Oakland.
knows that sugar don't go on grits, right, Ed?
Ed, come on.
I think Ed knows that.
Listen.
Boom, Mufasa. That is exactly it.
I'm gonna just quit this. All right,
we about to turn the comments off. All right.
You got to cut off. All right, no more commenting on sugar. Listen, all right, you don't put sugar on the sugar like the grits, like shrimp and grits, right? You don't do that. But let me see. Come on, Ed, that's not. Yeah, you do. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, that's what I'm talking about.
Y'all sugar grits.
Y'all tripping.
Oh man.
Listen, wait. Oh no, wait. Like you put sugar
salt,
and cheese,
pepper, butter, cheese. That's what Mufasa's saying. Mufasa's on savory side, as he should be.
All right, so there are savory moments, right? When you do the savory, you do shrimp and grits, right? Shrimp, grits, sauces, all that. If you just do butter, then you put sugar in it, right? So if you're having like eggs, butter, sugar, you put look at the dog right there trying to get in that. He know what's up.
He knows. Taking my side.
So you put the sugar in there, but yes, I agree. You do not put sugar on the shrimp and grits. That's where we go. Look, he growling.
Look, he getting upset. He just hearing about it. He said sugar on
Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Look, all right. Well, that's rapid fire question, y'all. Y'all know who she is. Selena Wilson, aka CEO of EOYDC. Also Oakland's finest, you know what I'm saying? Castlemont, Deep East, you know where she at. So listen, if y'all could please share one more time before we get started, because I don't want anyone to miss this. Now, normally I will have entrepreneurs on here, but listen, this is in okay, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. So this is a story of succession, right? To where someone has been a part of something, and normally it comes from the outside, but this time this came from the inside. She knows the inner workings. She knows the program like the back of her hand. And what better person to come up through the ranks, to come up through childhood. And I'm gonna let her tell her story. All right, I'm gonna let her tell her story. But this is one of the stories I've actually been waiting for. And if you have not heard her story, you're about to hear tonight. My bad. Sorry. Had a bug fly right in my eye.
Like, you know what that is, though, Herbert, right?
What is that?
God don't like ugly. He didn't like that sugar grit talk. You sent a bug right into your face.
Like it just said, yeet, like right in my eye. It's over there. It's dead now. It's crazy. All right. So here we go. All right. Now the Lord stopped sending bugs my way. This is what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to hand you the floor. And my question to you to get you started is, take us from the beginning. Where did this all begin? And how did you even get introduced to EOYDC?
Oh, wow. From the very beginning. We must go back to 1989. Yes. So when I was 4 years old, a friend of my mother's took me to African dance class at EOYDC. And I really enjoyed it. And, my parents, really, really worked hard to make sure we had different enriching opportunities, even though they couldn't necessarily afford them. So they would try to find things that we could do that would, just be enriching to us that were free. And EOYDC became a very important part of my life because they offer so many different free programs. And once I got old enough that I could walk to the center by myself, because I grew up in East Oakland, not too far from the center. And once I started middle school, I actually lived on 71st and went to middle school right there on 69th at Havens Court. And so I used to walk to EOYDC after school every day. And, there's so many specific stories and examples, but EOYDC really became a constant and a stabilizing place for me during different phases of life where there was a lot of rockiness. So, both of my parents dealt with chronic illnesses. So there would be times where they might be, in the hospital for months at a time. And I might not, necessarily even be at home. There would be times where I might be staying with a friend or a relative for months at a time. And the one constant was EOYDC. And, EOYDC always had, adults that I could relate to that were really of the community, that cared about the community, who really became like second parents to me. And I remember in particular, at points where I might get a little depressed and stop coming and just be kind of isolating myself, there would be people like Coach Kwame who would come to my house and knock on my door and be like, yo, where you at?
Wow. Yeah.
And people like Miss Regina, who was the CEO before me, who, would really step up and drive me to track meets and, take me to register for college. And really EOYDC became a family in more ways than one. And
wow.
So it was where I got my first job as a youth leader. And actually I started volunteering there at the age of 12, doing the front desk, and really built a lot of confidence and sense of self-worth and value, and really building my own sense of power at a young age. And, having grown up in East Oakland, as you know, a lot of people didn't really see us as being able to contribute in that way. They didn't necessarily see our value or see us as really being able to handle responsibility. And at EOYDC, we were really, the expectations were high. They were at a bar that, frankly, a lot of places they never had expectations like that of me. And it meant something to me that people really believed in me, that I could do it, but also were there to give me the supports I needed to build the skills that I needed to reach those expectations. So played a really big role all throughout my school age years, worked there through my first year in college, and it really sowed a seed of not just leadership, but really of working with community, working with young people, even as a young person, and informed a lot of my career path. So that's just the beginning. Yes, James, it takes a village, and EOYDC really, really, really was and continues to be a village for me. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. So that's the beginning. There's more to it, but I'm sure you'll get to that.
Yeah, definitely. Now I have a question, because that's huge. All right. The CEO is picking you up, taking you to track practice. Coach Kwame, right, as you said, coming to your door. How did that make you feel as a kid, knowing that the struggles that you had and that you had to endure, but the one place that you found refuge and safety in, those people were coming to you?
Yes, again, this goes back to that feeling of there being safety in the village, right?
Yeah.
And that sense of I matter, and people notice when I'm gone, and people really, think that I am not just an important person, but I am worth investing time and energy into, right? And so it really made me feel deeply cared about and taken care of, and a certain sense of safety and protection, knowing that I had people who were really there for me.
Wow, man, that's amazing. I feel like every parent is looking for that one program to really put their kids in, because, even now for my daughter and even for my son, and we're seeing their capabilities and what they mean. And it's just kind of like, where's that one program to really put them in, that not just to buy their time, but that's really going to develop them. And man, and it's right there, right there. So if there any parents are listening, you're in Oakland, definitely check out EOYDC, send your kids there, because you already see the impact that it has on a girl from the community and where she is now.
Yeah,
So
I just want to say there, Herbert,
uh
every child needs a village.
absolutely.
Even, like you and Lynette, I can tell, so dedicated as parents. And even still, no matter how great our parents are, we still need a village. There's always going to be
Yep.
something that the village can offer that complements what we are able to do as parents individually. So I really want to
Absolutely.
encourage every parent, no matter how much money you make, no matter how wonderful of a connection you have with your kids, build a village for them. It really makes a difference, especially as we get to different stages in our lives. It's natural for kids to come to a certain
Mm-hmm.
place where there's going to be some things they're not going to want to talk to you about as a parent, right? They're going to want to go to somebody closer to their age, somebody who's maybe a little bit more distant
Mm-hmm.
from their day to day to get certain kind of advice or perspective. And you want to have that village there that you can trust. So if you help them build that village, they'll have those different folks there in their life that can be there to support.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So here's another question. So you mentioned school. Um, how tough was school for you, and how did EOYDC help you persevere through that? What were some of the major ways they played that in your life?
Yeah, well, you went to school with me, and we
Uh,
went to Castlemont for high school,
mm-hmm.
which those of us who went to Castlemont, lots of wonderful things about Castlemont, lots of challenging things about
Yeah,
Castlemont. During the 4 years you and I were there, we had three different
yeah,
principals,
mm-hmm.
right? There was a
Yep.
lot of inconsistency, sometimes chaos. And while we had a lot of teachers that cared about us deeply, shout out to Miss Flanagan,
Mm-hmm.
rest in peace to
Shout out.
her. Shout out to Coach Carter.
Yep.
I mean, I could go on and on. So many wonderful teachers
Yep.
that we had individually. The system was broken in a lot of ways at our school and within the
Mm.
school district with limited resources. Thank you, Ed, fellow knight.
Appreciate you, man.
So, for me, and then you add to that, just growing up in East Oakland, there's so many wonderful things that I got out of the community. And there was also a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I remember my sophomore year, one of the folks that, I really cared about was killed in a terrible, like he was shot 11 times. And it was a very traumatic thing for me. And I just stopped going to school for a few weeks. Yes, Ebony, we will get back to that because I definitely want to talk about summer programming. We have some great stuff in store.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
this friend of mine was murdered horrifically, and my junior year in high school, my next door neighbors were killed in their home execution style,
Wow.
and a bullet came through my window during
Mm.
that incident in my house. And so dealing with all of this trauma, and trying to navigate that, I was just kind of in and out of focus. So there would be
Mm.
some semesters where I would be on the honor roll, and other semesters where I wasn't even eligible to run track because my grades were
Mm.
so bad. Like it was touch and go constantly. And for me, what EOYDC really helped me do was not quit.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
it helped me ride the wave and see it through, even though there were times where I was struggling, I didn't quit.
Mm.
And there was a semester I went on independent study even, right? And again, EOYDC was still that stable place for me when I was going through chaos.
Yeah.
And it affected my ability to do well in school consistently. And to that end, that was the reason why I went to community college first. And EOYDC, um, along with some other folks in my village, really encouraged me to see that through and to go through that in a really disciplined way. So I was able to thrive once I got to community college, and once I got out of some of the circumstances that I
Yeah.
was in as a kid where there was just so much death around me. And I think
Wow.
that was really key for me.
Wow. And a testament to that is I didn't know any of that. And anybody
Mm,
looking from the outside would just picture you as she got her head on straight. She knows what she's doing, and but nobody knew that that was a direct result of the village that you had, and the role that they played in your life. And you couldn't see it because I feel like once you have that strong support, they're able to help you ride that wave, get through a lot of things other than people who don't have that support, and you see it constantly. So, again, looking at you, you wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? You think, man,
uh,
Selena, she just got it. But then
what's
again,
funny
that's
too is that Miss Lindo, I don't remember if you remember Miss Lindo, our principal,
yeah, I remember.
my
Mm-hmm.
senior, I think our last 2 years,
Yep.
she would call Miss Regina on me, the CEO. So she'd be like, yo, you better come get your girl. And then we came to a certain point where some people would think Miss Regina was my mom because she would come up
Mm-hmm.
there, right? But yeah, so it was definitely that, in addition to support, like accountability,
Mm.
and again, because they had expectations of me, I can't sit up there and and play any games with Miss Regina or with Coach Kwame, and then be like, "Girl, come on now." Like a teacher who maybe doesn't know me as well might think that like, "Oh, this is the best she can do," and they'd be like, "This is not the best she can do.
Absolutely.
Like, this is absolutely not the best
Yeah.
she can do." So really,
Wow.
that accountability as well.
Wow, man, that's amazing. People who can push you and know
Yes.
your capabilities and know just what you're made of. Also, here's the question then. So through that, you see the support system, you see the benefits of having a village, even at that young age. When did it click to you that, you know what, I kind of want to make this long term, or I want to really be a part of this family in any way possible? When did that start coming into your head?
That's a really good question. There was a period where I really, wanted to get away from working with kids.
Mm.
So as I mentioned, my first job was at EOYDC. So I served in a few different roles, but all of which involved working with younger kids from really all throughout high school into my first year of college. So I was a youth leader, which is kind of like a mentor slash tutor.
Mm-hmm.
I was a youth computer instructor. So as a kid, a young person myself, I taught computers to younger kids, so forth and so on. So after my first year in college, I was like, I want to try something else. So I was applying everywhere you could think. I was trying to get a retail job. I was trying to work in an office at a,
Mm-hmm.
a doctor's office. I was like, I just want to try something different. And at a certain point, I just needed a job. So then I applied for one place working with kids, and that was the one place that hired me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, okay, I guess I'm destined to do this a little bit longer. So I was helping to run after school programs for the city of Piedmont. And that is a very different kind of community, a very affluent community. And, definitely gained some valuable life lessons there,
Yeah.
but I really missed giving back to my community. So I was volunteering at EOYDC, just kind of doing a little sewing class and doing little activities with the kids here or there.
Yeah.
And I, for a period was like, okay, what am I going to do permanently? And I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. So I prepared, took the LSAT, which is a test to go to law school, and was ready to apply for law school. And then when I was filling out the applications, I was like, wait a minute, because they're like, why do you want to go to law school? And I was like, I don't have a good answer. And I
Right.
had to really like do some soul searching. And I was like, what I'm really most passionate about is working with young people. But I'm also passionate about systems change. Like, how could I put those two things together? And that's when I decided that I wanted to go back to go back to school, and I wanted to study more. How do you help the organizations that work with the young people be more effective?
Yeah.
And so I decided to get my master's in learning, which is like more adult learning. How do you teach the adults who are teaching the kids? And organizational change. How do you help organizations do what it is that they're trying to do more effectively? And I remember my very first assignment in grad school, we had to say what our short-term goals and our long-term goals were. And my short-term goals, I said, the next few years after grad school, I want to work for a consulting firm such as Deloitte so that I can learn from the private sector and take it, excuse me, back to nonprofit. And after that, I want to work for, excuse me, allergies, y'all. I want a leadership position at a nonprofit like EOYDC.
Kept coming back to it.
Excuse me. I named that specifically in that assignment.
And look, and before you keep going, I gotta clear up something. So, let's rewind. Piedmont. All right, and if anybody knows, and anybody can put it on here, even though it was really in Oakland, a lot of people don't consider that's not Oakland. But it's a small, like you said, affluent community. So for everybody who's watching that is not from Oakland, Piedmont is Oakland, not Oakland. All right, it's just different. So I don't know what you say Piedmont is. Would you put that as Oakland, or would you say that's totally separate from what Oakland is?
Yeah, and thank you, y'all. I was really, these allergies have had me on. So thank you. Yeah, so actually, and this is a truth. Some people might not like to hear it, but it's true. Piedmont is what's called a charter city.
Mm.
Piedmont used to be Oakland, and then there were some rich white folks, if we're to be honest, that decided, hey, we want to create our own territory, own city, really, within this broader city. And that's what happened. So they created a charter to develop Piedmont, and it's in the middle, not in the smack dab middle of Oakland, but it's surrounded by Oakland. And really, what that was about was a certain group of people with a lot of resources and wealth who wanted to kind of contain it. Now, that's the true history of it. That being said, you know, Piedmont continues to be a charter city of its own. And, you know, one of the things that I learned working with kids from affluent families, things aren't always perfect. Having money doesn't solve everything.
Yeah.
And there's certainly a lot of kids in affluent households that are well loved and nurtured, but there's also some that are neglected. And it kind of struck me how you'd have kids in East Oakland who might be coming to school or whatever with, you know, dirty clothes or shoes that don't fit because maybe their parents can't afford new things and what have you. And then in some of the affluent communities, you would see the same thing, but for different reasons. Their parents might be too busy and not noticing. And again, that's not the majority in either community, but that's why I always say every child needs a village, and every community does need those resources. That said, it was really important to me that I get back to East Oakland, excuse me, y'all, and my roots. And so seeking opportunities to do that through EOYDC as a volunteer was a huge blessing to me.
Hey, that's dope. So listen, so while you go ahead and drink, I'm gonna allow you to go ahead and drink. And while she's doing that, can y'all just share, because you already see that that it's already trending in the right direction. As a matter of fact, I have a friend right here. She wants me to introduce her to you formally. So after this, we could definitely do it. She's doing amazing things with Beat the Pain and also with battling mental health. So go ahead and link her. Actually, she's been on the show. So this is Ashate Millhouse. She has great plans and ideas, and she again, the direct aim is to impact the community around us. All right, so now you try to get away from working with kids, and then everything is now going back to working in your community with the kids, with the teens, and what kind of came from that. Now that you understood and noticed, like, okay, I'm not escaping this. What was your next steps?
Yes, as they say, I started to understand the assignment, meaning my assignment of my life purpose. So again, I knew that I needed to pause on working directly with kids for a time to gain some of the skills that I needed to gain. So I did spend a few years doing consulting with all kind of clients so that I could learn. But in the meantime, in between time, I was doing pro bono consulting with EOYDC. So I was keeping that connection going. And as the divine would see fit, there came an opportunity just as I was starting to feel like my time at consulting was coming to an end and I gained everything out of that chapter that I needed to gain. The opportunity came for me to return to EOYDC as the vice president of organizational effectiveness. So I was then able, and this was 7 years ago, to work very, very closely with our longtime CEO, Regina Jackson, for 7 years. And Miss Regina, yes. Wow. And I often say one of the things that makes Miss Regina such a dynamic leader is because she's not trying to create followers. She's trying to create other leaders. And so she was very, very, very intentional about using my time in that role to really groom me, to be able to, you know, take her seat, to really stand on her shoulders once that time came. But it wasn't just me. She was also looking to groom other layers of leadership within the organization. So, you know, while my story is powerful, it's to me even more powerful that it's not unique, right? Like our chief program officer, Dr. Landon Hill, he started at EOYDC when he's 15 and has worked his way up and certainly through other opportunities, but came back and under the guidance of Miss Regina and other folks, you know, really came up the ranks, and now he's a chief program officer. And there's so many other examples. About 70% of our
Wow.
staff are alumni.
Wow.
And that
But
doesn't happen by accident.
right. And that's what I'm saying. That guarantees that somebody else from the community one day will be a CEO. And that's a guarantee.
Yep.
That's not like a maybe or
Right.
possibly. Like, this is a guarantee that that's going to continue to be ran by Oakland native alumni that is a part of that community and know what that community needs. So, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, you can't get too many guarantees like that. That is guaranteed. And so, wow, I just can't believe that. That just dawned on me that it's
Yeah.
guaranteed, like it's going to happen, and it's intentional. And I feel like, wow, that's like just the best way to guarantee success and a succession plan that's already in place. You're looking at the students and the kids that's already there. They're the next ones. Wow,
Exactly.
that's amazing. So 7 years working with Miss Regina Jackson, right? And also she's grooming others. But what made you then? Like, how did you get in that spotlight of potentially becoming the CEO? Like, how did you get there? So take it all the way back to 4 years old, going to the programs, being, they be in that village. You tried to escape, run, from that, everything that you do, and then come right back to it. Now it's, when did you see that things started to form, that this was really going to happen? Like, what was that like? Or was there even a conversation about it?
Oh, from the very beginning, Miss Regina asked me if it's something that I would consider.
Mm,
And so, while nothing was guaranteed, it was always very clear that there was, an interest in making sure that I was being readied for that opportunity when it came. Um, and I can say the same for, other folks who've, kind of gotten to other layers of leadership. There's always ongoing conversations about, like, being ready for the next chapter and the next stage.
mm,
The other thing that was kind of unique in our situation is that Miss Regina was rewarded a sabbatical. And a sabbatical, for those aren't familiar with it, is a program where leaders of organizations are gifted with uninterrupted time off.
mm-hmm.
Usually, in her case, it was 3.5 months. And so this was a time for her to step away fully, and really invest in her own self-care and well-being. This is not an easy job. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point, she had been doing it for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And so really taking time off to rest and, recover and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's an opportunity for the organization to really learn how to live without that person needing to do the day to day.
Right.
And so I had to prepare for her sabbatical in less than 8 months, because I started in March of 2015, and her sabbatical started in November of 2015. So I did not have much time until she was going to be
Mm-hmm.
gone. And when I say gone, I mean gone. She was like
Gone.
literally climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Like, I was not going to be able to reach her. So she really had to prepare me to run things. And like I said, it
Wow.
was a village effort, right? And that's another thing that I've learned from Miss Regina's leadership is the collective leadership. It cannot
Right.
just be me, right? It's like, how do we collectively prepare? And so
Absolutely.
there was always the need for me to really be able to step in, and that came early. And I think that was really a defining moment for me and for all of us across the organization of, okay, we have to be ready. And then truly, when Miss Regina returned, we kind of shifted the way in which she was able to lead, in the sense that she was able to focus much more on external engagement and all these other kind of, institutional building that she was now freed up to do more, now that there were other folks who could run the day to day. So
Yeah.
anyhow, I say all that to say it was always a possibility in my mind, and certainly something Miss Regina was intentional about. It was not a foregone conclusion, in the sense that, we did have to make sure that there was a process. So when the position opened up, it was opened up to a national search.
Mm-hmm.
Over 300 people applied for the position. There was an externally led recruiting process, and there were some points where I wasn't sure if
Mm.
ultimately I would be selected for this position. But I'm very grateful and honored that it came to be, and I'm very grateful that Miss Regina was intentional about grooming me and also the other folks across our team who've been able to
Mm.
continue to rise in leadership. It's unique
Okay.
and rare. It is, like you said,
It
most
is.
often it is somebody from the outside that is
Mm-hmm.
chosen. And so to be able to not only have the opportunity, but to feel like I've really been set up for success,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a blessing and I don't take it for granted.
Wow. Amazing. And this is it's a few questions I want to ask. It's just floating around in my brain. But I'm gonna ask this one. And I think this is a more relevant one since again you were pulled from the community. Um, how do you Okay, in what way do you think being a part of EOYDC prepared you to be in this place? What did you bring from your childhood all the way up into the position that you're in now? How does that even help you?
Man, so much. I think, uh, I could go on, but I think that it's really a way
Yeah,
of being in community, a way of really truly respecting
yeah,
everybody's contribution. I'll talk
yeah.
today about the fact that like from the 5-year-old in the in the program to the 85-year-old facilities manager who's been there forever. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Claude, we love you. To the parents, to the like everybody plays an important role in the village at
Mm-hmm.
EOYDC. And I think EOYDC just gave me such a deep appreciation for that village mentality, that idea that we really are each other's keeper and that we need each other. I think that the way that because people at EOYDC believed in me so deeply when I was a young person,
Yeah,
it's really allowed me to see not just the future potential in young people, but to see their current leadership and respect
yeah,
it and honor it and make space for it. And so I can't imagine, how I would approach youth development if I didn't grow up in a youth development program that honored me as a leader. So there's so many things that are normal for youth leaders to be able to do at EOYDC that are just not the norm anywhere else. And so,
yeah.
like for example, look, they tell me sometimes, like Miss Selena, like it's funny because they'll send me emails like Miss Selena, we would like to propose, da, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes, they'll tell me if there's like some sort of organizational suggestion they have, or if they feel like one of us didn't do right by them,
Mm-hmm.
they feel the power to really speak up respectfully and firmly and just say, look, we don't think that this is fair. We
Mm-hmm.
want you to reconsider this, right? And because I grew
That's
up in this
crazy.
environment, I'm like, you know what? You are right. Right. And
Wow.
so, like, that humility of, like,
Absolutely.
we are power building with these young people. So when they
Yeah.
flex their power, but it's done in such a way of respect and community. So, I mean, I could go on and on about the ways in which growing up in the program have really shaped not just this how I approach this role, but really just who I am as a person. It's such a big part of who I am. And everybody
Wow.
knows that. Like EOYDC is such a big part of my life and always has been, really.
And that's what I'm saying. Always has been like EOYDC is you. Like you,
Yes.
like you grew up there,
I
literally.
used to walk there from Castlebar every day. I used to walk right down 82nd on to
Mm-hmm.
EOYDC.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what were one of the things that Miss Regina showed you to prepare you for this moment? Like what? Like so. I just want to like practically or see like what were one of the things that helped you get to this goal?
I mean, so many things. I think one of the things that Miss Regina planted specific to this role is that, a true test of a leader
Mm-hmm.
is comes when the times get hard, right? Like
Okay.
that's when you're really tested during the hard
Yep.
times. And so I think, her really talking me through because like look, there have definitely been some hard times where I've been like, woo, might be time to throw in the
Mm-hmm.
towel. And, her talking me through those things and coaching me through those things. I mean, the other reality too is that when you are in this kind of position, it's almost like the analogy that I use is like when you're on a plane and you're going through turbulence at least for
Mm-hmm.
me, I look at the flight attendants. And if they
Mm-hmm.
look calm, I feel
Then
more calm. If they look stressed, I am now freaking
yeah,
out.
I'm stressed now.
Right, right.
Because what are
And
you
so,
running for?
right. So
Right.
I feel like I'm like the flight attendant, right? Like I am there to take care of people. You know what I mean? Like that's the other thing is Miss Regina sees leadership as really being in service. So it's like, look,
Mm.
I'm not there to tell you what to do. All blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, I'm there in part to provide guidance. You know, the flight attendant, they give you the safety instructions. They reinforce those boundaries that are there for your safety. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I must do that. But I also like, do you need a drink? Would you like a blanket? Would you like a pillow? You know, so it's like that attitude of leadership as
Yeah.
service and really seeing myself as being there as somebody who's there in service, but also to like, try to keep the as we're kind of going through this journey, reassurance and making sure that people are feeling safe, that they're feeling reassured, that they're feeling encouraged. There are going to be some bumpy rides, so that turbulence, that's going to happen. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
my job to really center myself and remain calm and within myself so that I can help the rest of the team really get through those periods of rough patches.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent. Because I'm telling you, if that flight attendant start tripping and running back
Right.
and he or she
Yeah,
looking shook, I'm like, listen, I'm not, I got to get me off this plane.
exactly.
But again, you're right, because I look to them, and if they're calm, like I'm good. So again, like marks of a leader. If the leader not tripping, if they're good, then okay, then that means everything.
It
Even
helps.
if it's hectic, they know what to do. They're calm about it, and they can help us through the turbulence of life. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
so that's really great. So listen, we already almost an hour in, and there's so much more that I would love to cover. But if you are in the Oakland area, and I want to get to Ebony's question
Yes.
is, what do you have going on in the summer right now for kids or for
Yeah.
teenagers
So
or
right
whatever?
now, before we get to the summer program, we have free after school programming for all ages, pretty much school age. So we have a free after school leadership academy for elementary school students that includes tutoring, arts enrichment, wellness enrichment. So,
Hmm.
everything from gardening to basketball, all of that. We have a middle school program called Bridge that's available for after school. And then our Pathway to College and Career program, which includes workshop series of various kinds, free college tours. We're going on our first college
Wow.
tour of 2022 during spring break in a couple of weeks. So, really encourage folks to get involved in that. We are also starting to hire for our summer internships. So if you know young people who are currently freshmen in high school through seniors in high school, as well as college age, highly encourage them to apply for our paid internship. They need to
Oh, there you
apply
go.
now. It's a paid internship. They will earn at least $2,600 over
Ooh,
the summer. Yes, $2,600 or more, depending upon their
wow.
position. So please do apply encourage young people to apply for the summer internship. And that also includes personal and professional development training. They get a lot of
Wow.
development in addition to the paid work experience. And then one of our most popular summer programs is our Summer Cultural Enrichment Program, SEP. It is a full day summer program with programming from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. with an optional aftercare that goes up to 6 p.m. It's Monday through Thursday is when we do the program. And on some of the Fridays, we will do field trips. This program is free
Mm.
for all families except for those who are above the county median. And even then, the most expensive it will be is $600. And that's for 6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks of programming, full day programming, Monday through Thursday. So really do encourage folks to sign up for that. Last thing I will say is that as it relates to the college pathway to college and careers, if your young people get involved now or at some point within the next few months, they'll be eligible for our scholarship fund next year. And we give out at least
Mm.
$150,000 worth of scholarships total. So if you want your young person to be on this track to receive scholarship money, to participate in these free college tours, really encourage you to get them tapped in. And also for the
Mm.
teens, we have We have art programming, we have wellness programming. We have just so many things that we want to offer our community. So definitely check it out. We are in the process of updating our website. So if you're having any confusion on the website, definitely feel free to check out our social media, and always feel free to give us a holler. We're right there on 82nd and East 14th, aka International. But you know
International,
the
yeah.
real East Oakland ones, we call it East 14th,
It's
right
East
there on
14.
82nd. So come on through.
There you go. Listen, yeah, we international. Okay, even
Y'all
if
know what we talk about. Yeah.
yeah, we know what you're talking about. Listen, so there you go. I mean, that's a lot that's going on there, and I am going to say, hopefully, my sister is still listening. That my niece, she can definitely go in there and start earning some money. I don't know what
Yes.
she's doing this summer or even right now, but yeah, that's a beautiful opportunity.
What's your
I
niece's
hope you,
name?
Naomi. All right.
Naomi. Naomi, come see me.
Definitely. Listen, go get in there. I'll send. I'm a tag my sister in this again. Hopefully she can hop off. But listen, we almost up on time. We do have a giveaway. All right, and so I'm gonna just let you know what this is. This is a free jar of shea butter, right? From Brash, right? So Brash. It is unapologetically good. Okay, it is good for you. It's good for your skin. I use it. We have products that I use for my beard. I have products I use for my daughter's hair. Listen, but it's a free jar of shea butter. All you have to do, all right, all you have to do is put in hashtag EOYDC, and whoever put this in will pull it. We'll randomize it, right? So because I don't want anybody blaming me for picking somebody that I know. All right, so I have my teammate. She's watching right now, and what she does is she puts it in a virtual wheel, and yep, see, and she has used it herself. All right, and she puts your name in the wheel, and we randomly select whoever wins. Okay, so all you have to do is put in hashtag EOYDC, and that's how you enter in the win. But so while people are doing that, please, what? Well, you already gave us the future, really. So actually, no, you probably haven't. What's happening in the future that has not been shared yet? Can you give breaking news on here?
Yes. So we are still working on the particulars of how, but we are manifesting into the ether that EOYDC will, within the next 18 to 24 months, be offering, if not sooner, satellite programming in some of the areas where our young people have been displaced to. So it's no secret that unfortunately a lot of folks are getting moved out of Oakland. And we
Yeah.
want to go to where our people are. So we're looking to launch a summer program, hopefully in Antioch, hopefully summer of 2023. So for our folks who've been moved
Wow.
out to Antioch, we want to come to you. We'll be also looking at communities like Stockton, like Pittsburgh. So we're
Yep.
manifesting that in the air. And if you are somebody who works the community in Antioch, please do definitely feel free to reach out to talk about potential partnership opportunities. But yeah, we really want to go to where our folks are. Always will be East Oakland deep, and we
Mm-hmm.
recognize the need to go to where our folks are being pushed to, where there aren't as many resources, there aren't as many EOIDCs.
Awesome. Absolutely. And I see the hashtag EOYDCs coming in. What would you do? And again, and let me just say that is again a real thing. There's no mystery that Oakland has become extra expensive, and the whole Bay Area for that matter. And so yeah, that is absolutely wonderful that they will not lose the program while they have to go live somewhere else. So that's amazing. But here's my question to you, and while people are still continuing to put on the hashtag EOYDC, what would you say to that young person that is probably doesn't see a way out? Came from your situation, came from my situation, came from a lot of people that we know situation. What would be your encouragement to them?
I think that my encouragement would be that it might feel sometimes like you're alone, but you're not. And that there are some people who find real joy in, find it to be an honor to be able to be there for you. And now that I'm on the other side, and I am that person who went through it and got through it, and now I'm in such a wonderful place in my life. It is such a blessing to me when young people let me and give me the privilege of helping them. So know that you're not a burden. The people who really want to be there for you, it's a gift for us. And so I really encourage you, let people who really want to be there for you, and know that you are not a burden. It is a gift and a part of our own healing to be able to give back to you the way that people gave to us when we were your age.
Perfect. And that's perfect. I don't know if I could if you could have said that any better. All right, listen. All right, so I know you guys been putting in those hashtags LYDCs, and I got the tag right here. This is what is in Brash. We are non-toxic, right?
Hey,
Cruelty-free, affordable skincare. All right. So if that's everybody who put in to win, I will get a text then from Alicia. Shout out to Alicia Wallace again. If anybody has
thank
been a guest
you.
on here, she is the one that's contacting you, gathering information, and also she is the one that is selecting the winner. Okay, so again, shout out to team. And listen, you talking about village? Again, it's great to have an awesome team that just understand, and I definitely appreciate my team. So let's see what we have here. All right. And the winner is hmm, who is this? Oh, Miss Tay. Miss Ashte Millhouse. Congratulations. You won.
Congratulations. And shout
You
out to
won.
Zena St. Charles.
Yeah. Shout out. Listen, y'all. Go ahead and I have the do I have that put in the yep, I do have the website. Go to sobrash.com. Okay, go there, get you some of that stuff. Look, I got a drawers full of beard balm and the oils. I mean, I love it. It
Shea
smells
butter
so
smells
great.
so good.
It smells
Yes.
so great. Listen, I'm telling you. So shout out, congratulations, you won. Thank you for tuning in. And listen, y'all, continue to tune in to Tell It because we're always giving something away. We're always pushing free. We always want to push and highlight local businesses, black owned businesses, minority owned businesses. We always want to highlight you. So listen, I'm gonna just put this out here right now. If you know of anyone that has a business, please refer them to me. I want to highlight them. I typically do that and highlighting local business wherever you are, wherever your local is, because this is virtual. I definitely want to highlight you for sure. But again, shout out to Tay. Uh, we'll be getting in contact with you to get your shea butter. All right, and she's local
Yes.
too. I think she's local. She can grab hers. So listen, thank you for coming on. Again, I count this an honor and privilege. I always say that people do not have to do this, right? People have other things to do. As of you have a lot of things to attend to, a lot of people that are looking for your guidance and leadership, and you chose an hour out of your day to come be on Tele. So thank you again. I really appreciate it.
My honor and pleasure. Thank
Awesome.
you.
And for everybody that tuned in, thank you because you could be doing something else right about now, but you chose to come on and stay on, and we really appreciate that. Listen, for all of you who want to support Tell It, you definitely have an opportunity to do so. If you would like to become an MVP member of Tell It, all you have to do is go to this link right here. Just type that in, and there are various and very, very low cost ways to give monthly if you would like to. And also, you can listen to the podcast. This will be uploaded as a podcast option. So if you missed it, you can go back and listen to it. And I'm pretty sure it'll be just as effective. All right. And yes, it was a very inspiring night. I mean, think about it. From four to CEO. I mean, man, that just don't happen. That just don't happen. So that was awesome. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the community before we peace out?
All I can say is just, like I said, really, we are all a part of a village. And so I would just say, really take the time to think through how you can
Yeah.
really be a part of creating the kind of village that you want,
Absolutely.
and that you either had or wish you'd had as a young
Mm-hmm.
person. So, yes, but thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate your tagline that there is hope in your story. It is
There is.
so true. And I know, cliches become cliches for a reason, but to
Mm-hmm.
say that like your testimony can make such a difference for someone else. And I know for me, I always feel so much encouragement and affirmation from hearing other people's stories. So, Herbert, I want to thank you for creating this platform and really taking time to build out such a affirming space where people can really receive hope. So, thank you. That's also an important part
Amen.
of the
Good.
village. All right.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all. You guys have a good night. Stay tuned. We'll be having another show coming up. So just be aware. I'm gonna be marketing like crazy, like I always do. But shout out to K Station again for the intro and the promo. He does all of that. And shout out to Alicia Wiles, the team. And shout out again to Miss Selena Wilson. And the EOYDC. Go see her. Go see her.
Come
All
see
right,
me,
y'all.
82nd and East 14th. Come through. Come holler.
All right, y'all. We holler at you later. Peace.